Well, the cell phone bill addresses the need to have warning labels on cell phones because these devices emit electromagnetic radiation, and exposure to that can cause brain cancer and other issues.
Has that been proven?
There are very substantial studies internationally that point to that as a high likelihood. There is an important study that was done in Sweden that was a long-term study for people using cell phones for 10 years or more. And what that showed is for every 100 hours of use, the risk of brain cancer increases by 5%. And for every year, it increases by 8%. And for people, young people who started using the phone in their teens or younger, the risk of brain cancer increases by 420% by the time they're in their late 20s.
What's the average risk of brain cancer?
The average risk well, now there's a good question. I don't know what the average risk is, but I know that we see more and more cases of brain cancer now. I know people personally. We see Ted Kennedy, heavy user of a cell phone. Johnny Cochran, his doctor definitely attributed it to the use of his cell phone. I've been hearing from people all over the country. A couple of people here in Maine who lost their spouses to a brain tumor that was attributed to a cell phone.
Why haven't any of the other states taken action, or the federal government?
Well, I guess you'll have to ask them. There have been hearings in Washington. Senator Harkin and Senator Specter recently had hearings in Washington, and a year or two ago, Congressman Kucinich also did. So people are looking at it, but other countries have taken far more steps than we have in this country to warn their people.
Cell phones these days seem to be about as essential as an automobile to modern life. So how would your bill affect that?
Well, it doesn't ban the use of cell phones. What it does is put a warning label on it to advise people to keep it away from their head and body, so that the effects from them are mitigated. And the way you do that is to hold it at a distance, use it on speakerphone, preferably not hold it and use it on speakerphone, or use a wired headset so that you can have the phone at a distance from your ear, from your body. And for children, they really should not be using them, period, except in extreme emergencies, because they are a much greater risk, and that's why it's called the Children's Wireless Protection Act. Because of their developing brains and the thinness of their skulls, they are far more at risk than adults.